and like have a long-term relationship. So I guess part of that has kind of been making me, like, I feel like I need to go slow though too, because I don't know.
I agree.
You know.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's, and we're kind of starting out again, and so part of me wants to. I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of a challenge to, you know, take it slow and to almost not have any expectations for a certain amount of time, because I feel like a lot of those expectations are just out of fear.
Right. It takes away from being in the moment and enjoying his company if you've got an agenda going. Yeah.
Right.
And you'd be a lot more attractive, and he'd be at your pounding down your doorstep more often than not if you energetically. And again, Kelly, that's self-love. You understand that? That's realizing you are so fantastic, and you're happy whether he stops by or not, and that whole neediness vibe disappears. And it's a vibe, and people feel it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Makes them run the other way.
Exactly. And so,
But he's got neediness in himself, too, and when he sees that in you, he cringes because he's very uncomfortable while not acknowledging that he's got some of the same issues. He calls it lack of commitment. I think he's scared to death of needing you.
Yeah. That would make sense, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's have a plan here so you feel more powerful. You say to yourself by July or February, March, April, May, June, or by August. I don't want to rush you. Just the point is that you tell yourself that you're not going to put up with this forever. That you are using this time to determine if he's the right one for you, because guess what? You get to do that.
Right.
You may be the one that walks away when he may be chasing you down the street with a dozen roses. No, you are not for me. I just know you're going to get there. I know it's the same thing with the job. It's all going to kick in, what you've been doing.
Yep.
And this healing work is it's almost under the radar, the way I work, because actually I have, like, when my words vibrate, you're going to remember things that I'm saying, and I'm emitting some healing energy. Do you understand that? Because with awareness, you can no longer do the same things you were doing and not know that you're doing them. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And so now that we've acknowledged that you've been withholding speaking your truth and therefore shutting off parts of your heart, we're working on your heart center there. You were showing yourself a lack of love. You show yourself a lack of love. So as much love as you have to give, let's start. Next week I want to work more on your communication and find out where you got silent. Maybe we should do that. Let's do a little bit right now because you got a date tonight. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to call in unconditional love for yourself and others. Heal to close up your heart center. I'm going to call in Archangel Gabriel, and I'm going to talk about the communication wealth center, the throat chakra. This center has to do with authentic communication. It's not stifling your feelings or emotions, and it's not yelling and screaming. It's a balance. And so it's being able to express yourself. So when I'm talking about that, what comes up for you in your memory at any point where you may have where you first remember having trouble with this?
Well, I mean, growing up.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Because I've always had a strong personality, and I don't know if it was always a temper. I think that kicked in at a certain point in high school. But I've always had a strong personality and always wanted to just, speak my mind. But my parents didn't appreciate that very much, and even getting in fights. I have two sisters, and getting in fights with my sisters, I just like them to listen to my side of it, like, just listen to me, but they never wanted to hear about it. They just wanted us to stop complaining, and and so I think that almost started the anger of not being listened to. Like, I'm not. Why aren't you listening to me? So
Okay.
All right. That would be where it started.
All right. Let me tune in on that, okay? Hold on.
Okay.
Do you think you had did you have a highly emotional period of teenage years where you really felt very emotional?
Probably, yes. Yeah, I'd say so.
I think, because I'm getting something about you. You also started to control your temper and who you were. Like you started modifying your behavior because excessive outbursts of emotion.
Yes.
You began to feel self-conscious about that, and you made some kind of decision that was just unattractive on some level.
Yes.
Whether you were told
very
that.
much so.
Okay, hold on. Well, the first thing they're saying, anything learned can be unlearned. This was a learned behavior. You weren't born on this earth being quiet, right? You learned.
No, definitely not.
You learned to keep your mouth shut, or even I get within yourself, Kelly. There's a part of you that started monitoring. So whatever message your parents gave you is understandable, but I also get that you began to see. You realize that you almost like you gave people too much information. There's a part of you that is very reserved. Would you agree?
Yes. Yep.
It's like, you're like, I'm giving all these people, they don't need to know how upset I am. Like, they don't get to know that necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
you weren't
part of
showing all your cards.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was with my friends, and it's almost like if they had power over me if they knew how I felt. So
yeah, see?
I hugged it all in.
It worked for you. It worked for you.
Yeah.
You're still doing that now because Adam doesn't really know how you feel all the time.
No, right.
Right. Okay. We're going somewhere, aren't we?
Yes.
We've got to reframe where... Okay, I can really see how you would do this because I can understand. It's true. When you are having an emotional outburst, the person, oh my gosh, this used to happen to me all the time. I'd be upset about that. I've even said to Dean, I've noticed that when he really understands why I'm mad, they kind of use it against you sometimes. It's like I'm never telling him that again because he used it against me. Right? Oh my gosh. All right. So, all right, hold on. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about in the beginning. Stifling is one extreme. The huge emotional outburst and screaming and letting everybody know what you're upset about, and then you end up feeling vulnerable potentially, is the other extreme. So we want to work at the middle of the road here on authentic communication. Sound good?
Yes.
I know, it does, because you've been doing this one extreme to the other.
Right.
And we understand that it worked for you. It's a learned behavior. And when I closed my eyes and tuned in, I heard she can unlearn it. It's not part of your DNA or anything, okay? You're not stuck with this. Now,
that's good.
So you have power over this. I like this session today because I can see that it brings power to you to know that you silenced your own voice because you made a decision and you weren't inaccurate in that decision, that other people can use things against you when they know what's wrong. Right? So for you to tell Adam, it really bothers me that you won't commit to me, guess what? Then he gets to know how you feel, and then he can lord that over you in some way. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. So next week, you got to go in a couple minutes, and on our call with the class, we're going to talk about filling your heart and soul up with so much self-love that when you communicate like this, whatever they do with it won't matter to you whatsoever. Can you imagine what that feeling would feel like? Because you're letting go of the expectation. Well, I'm going to have you practice it. You're going to let go of the expectation of whether they stay or whether they go. You're going to be communicating from your heart. You're going to be creating no harm, but you're going to be giving the love to yourself that you deserve and the communication to others that's balanced. So that's my plan for next week, to work more on this, okay?
Okay.
Did you get some aha moments here today? So you know how you've been acting and it worked for you, but now you can make a different decision, and we'll balance it so you can speak and not feel so vulnerable?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, lots of good moments.
Good. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Kelly. It's an honor to coach with you. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. I'll talk to you Tuesday on the teleclass.
Okay.
And I send you much love and many blessings.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in this week. It's a brand new month. We're apparently the groundhog saw his shadows. We have 6 more weeks of winter, but use this time to go within and listen to your intuition and maybe find those creative projects that are perfect for this time of year. And I send you much love and many blessings and peace this week.